Welcome back to Singer Dad Reacts. I'm here to do another reaction of Diana Ankudinova. Hopefully I pronounced that right. One of you was good enough to help me know that it's Gudinova, the D sound there. So yeah, I'm reading about Diana and some of the things she went through as a child and her journey to where she is today. And part of that that it sounds like I missed was this experience she had when she was 13, I believe, on the show on The Voice, where she auditioned with the song Yodel Time, and some things happened with that from what I'm aware. So I do want to watch that and before I kind of move forward in her timeline to some of the other performances from the show. Thank you all also for kind of some of your clarifications about her relationship with Igor and so on. It does sound like he kind of, he set her up with an apartment after she won the show, and they did have some interactions going forward. But yeah, so I'm excited to jump into this and see her in action again, in kind of a precursor to her success with the Super and winning that, I believe, twice, and moving on from there. So without further ado, I'm going to get this started here. I did actually look up, there's not much to the lyrics for this song, as you would probably guess. With yodeling, there's not a lot of lyrics a lot of times, but what I found for the translation here is la 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 la, my love, this is Switzerland, my passion is yodeling, and I tell you why, because this love, yodelahu, yodeling makes me happy, and everybody in the world will understand, yodeling makes me happy, and everybody knows what this is about. High speed, Swiss high speed, we send a yodel around the world, a bopa papa holari yodeldi. So that's the last word of the translated lyrics. So with that, I will go ahead and get started. If any of you have not subscribed, if you could please do that, support the channel and click on the notifications so that you can hear about future posts. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Ни пуха, ни пера! К черту! Диана, давай.
Техника какая! Хотя, не знаю.
Yeah, I don't understand what the deal is here, why they're not turning around. That's the thing, though, because I've watched The Voice, I love watching a lot of these shows. I've watched America's Got Talent, X Factor, American Idol, some of Britain's Got Talent, and it would be fun actually to react to some of that, some of those auditions and stuff. I don't know if any of you have any interest of me ever doing anything like that, but I do enjoy kind of reacting and giving my 2 cents about, because sometimes, and I do find with, and I won't get sidetracked too much here, but I do find with the contests where Simon Cowell is the judge, that I do agree with him a lot of the time. There's sometimes I don't. There was one time, if you guys have not seen it yet, you need to see Brian Justin Crumb, his cover of Creep from America's Got Talent. Amazing. So powerful, so well sung. And here's Simon, locked in his chair, you know, not giving a standing ovation. And I've seen him stand for dog acts. You know, nothing against dogs. I love dogs. I grew up with dogs. But I'm sorry, they don't compare to something like this, in my opinion. That's my opinion. But yeah, so it kind of reminds me of this, right? Where they're someone who obviously deserves to be stood up for, or in this case, have the chair turned around for, and they're not. So let's continue to watch here and see what happens.
Jodel makes me happy, and everybody in the world can understand. Jodel macht mich glücklich, so ein world.
She's spunky. So young. Turn around. That takes a lot of skill to do that. Turn around. It's like they're allergic to their buttons right now. They're allergic to their buttons right now. This doesn't show the full thing, though. I wonder... Because there was a big thing that happened here, I think. Let me see if I can find it. I heard about this. You guys said that the crowd just stood up and said, "You judges are clueless."
Спасибо огромное.
Look at that. She's being so classy. So mature for her age.
Как вас зовут?
Всем здравствуйте. Меня зовут Анкудинова Диана, мне 13 лет, и я приехала из солнечного города Тольятти.
Yeah, I couldn't find one with this English subtitles for this, so
Мне кажется, вот мы все тут прям
not
с
sure
той
what they're
стороны
saying.
просто обалдели, потому что, правда, вы нас впечатлили, и это было так круто. Я, в принципе, не помню, чтобы я когда-нибудь слышала такое исполнение.
Это было, во-первых, круто, а во-вторых, с другой стороны...
Спасибо.
С другой стороны, это нас немножко разбило. Потому что каждый из нас хотел нажать, а потом думал,
Как? Что?
если какую следующую песню надо дать этой девочке, чтобы она показала себя вот,
I
вот
think
так
they
же
have her sing a
здорово.
different song, right?
Знаешь, хоть никто из нас тебя и не выбрал, сделай для нас прямо вот подарок. Спой еще что-нибудь, пожалуйста. Но вот просто самую обычную песню, для того, чтобы нам стало еще более жалко, что мы не нажали.
Мазохизмом попахивает каким-то.
That takes a lot of courage to do this.
Karma
Aujourd'hui, ça commence avec toi.
Ну все, хуже быть не может.
Such a full voice. She's going, what was I thinking?
Если бы мы знали, что вы такая
Look at that. Awesome. Very cool. Good for her.
Мне никогда еще так не аплодировали.
Я просто настолько была уверена, что вы выбрали свое направление музыкальное, потому что то, что вы сейчас делали, когда мы были с той стороны развернуты, это было прям так профессионально.
Преподаватель баварец какой-нибудь?
Нет.
Швейцарец?
Тольяттинец.
Тольяттинец?
Так. Но,
Послушайте,
в общем, я
можно я
подумала,
тоже
что-
хочу сказать? У меня
Да,
тоже
да, да.
как бы-
Я подумала, что просто это
я
все, это вот...
неистовствую прям.
Хорошо.
На самом деле, правда, у вас интересный тембр. И если вы его будете развивать,
Бешеная
вы будете
техника.
не похожи ни на кого.
Бешеная техника.
И я абсолютно не с тобой согласен. Мурашки – это верный знак, абсолютно. Точно, стопроцентный. И несмотря на то, что никто не повернулся, бывают такие в жизни несовпадения, вот, которые совершенно не знаковые. Может быть, они не ну, скажем, не закономерность, это случайность, абсолютная случайность. Вот. Поэтому хочется в свою защиту сказать, но вы прекрасны, у вас все есть, у вас
И все
все
впереди
будет,
у вас,
абсолютно
все у вас
точно.
впереди, да.
Без всяких
вообще.
сомнений.
Огромное спасибо вам.
Look at her. Look at how she's taking it. Wow. She's tiny.
Красавица еще, а? Какая еще красавица! Удачи, молодец, умничка, это было очень круто.
Очень здорово.
So mature. She's like, you guys will regret it. And they did, I'm sure.
Тот случай, когда голосом человек вообще просто...
Вот у меня сразу возникает вопрос, не потому что я хочу кого-то или тебя уколоть или что-то.
Wish I could understand what they were saying.
Ты знаешь, ну я же только
Maybe
что
if you guys
объяснила.
can put
Я
in the
потому что в полной
comments
уверенности, что
what they're talking
Понимаешь,
about and what I
это
missed.
Закончится все.
это
That would be
особый
helpful.
стиль,
Этим
да.
начнете закончиться, ты думаешь?
Ну, как бы да,
А
я не знаю, какую
воображение
песню
включить?
в дальнейшем
А?
человеку предложить.
А воображение
С другой
включить?
стороны, если
А
человек-
думаешь, такой музыки
Ты мне говоришь
нету
про
больше?
воображение,
А
у
больше
меня с
такой
этим всё
музыки,
нормально.
думаешь, нету, а?
Есть, но я, к сожалению, с ней не знакома.
А
С
вот
такой
познакомиться
музыкой
не
точно.
интересно? А?
Интересно.
А вот порыться, покопаться там где-нибудь? в всяких
Когда-нибудь.
аудиоисториях, а?
Я когда-нибудь этим займусь.
Нет, вот правда, не
Но
в пику,
сейчас-
не в пику сказано, не в пику. Я то же самое могу себе сейчас сказать.
Ну да,
я говорю
да,
это себе
но
сейчас.
ты знаешь, я не уверена, что это правильно сейчас. Мне кажется,
А когда,
этой
если не
девочке
сейчас,
нужен
вопрос
немножко
тогда?
другой путь.
Ты просто вообще молодец. Вообще молодец. Тянка, зажгла. Зажгла. Ты ничего не понял. Ты запомнила. Нет, не обиделась. Конечно, мне так никогда не хлопали. Никогда так не хлопали. Родной ты мой. Что тебе, знаешь, сколько сцен? Знаешь, сколько? Что?
Когда ни с кем не хотел так обняться, как с тобой. Как только ты начала петь, я понял, что я не обнимусь, понимаешь? Что это такое?
That's rough.
Это было настолько шикарно. А как смотрится она на сцене? Обалдеть, а какие волосы вкусные у тебя, а?
So is this the guy that took her in? I think it is, right?
Совершенно изумительно ты смотрелась. Знаешь, переудивляла. Вот сегодня переудивляла. Действительно, они обалдели. Умница, просто молодец. Спасибо тебе большое, что ты к нам
all be
приходила.
okay,
Мы тебя ждем
Диана.
в любое время. Давай, возвращайся и не вздумай даже плакать. Все очень хорошо. Давайте, счастливо.
Wow. Yeah, interesting. I won't make this too long because that's kind of a longer video. But, wow. That had to be a rough moment for her, you know? Here she is. She's overcome so much to be on that stage. They had no idea what she went through to get there. With all that she faced early in her life and trying to find a home and a family and people that loved her and to rise up and to, you know, learn about, from what I understand, from what some of you have said, she learned how, she took like speech therapy, or is it speech? So yodeling was part of what helped her with her speech therapy. And so it kind of all came into the voice and learning about her voice. And that's kind of how she started learning how to sing and all that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, so it all kind of led up to this culminary moment. And then the judges. So put in the comments like what happened with these judges, because now that she's like this superstar and this, this force out there, I'm wondering how those judges feel and if they've come forward and apologized or what came of that. But yeah, that was rough to see her after but it speaks volumes to me of who she is and how mature she was, even back then when she was only 13 years old. And it makes more sense to me now, having watched her a year later. But the thing that I'm just amazed by is, if I look at her and like her performance there, and then I kind of gauge in my mind the other performances I've watched, especially like the Roshenka, and her stage presence and her maturity and her ability to act out that and to really, portray the song and sing it with feeling and all of that, and her abilities and everything, that whole package. She came a long way, I think, between this point and that point, it seems like to me. And maybe I'm just not getting a good example from this particular performance, because it's kind of just it's a yodel song, right? So it's not as serious a performance as far as, like Roshenka or something like that. So it's not really like an apples to apples comparison. But so maybe if you have other suggestions from this time period, you want to suggest to me to kind of get a better feel for where she was at, or if maybe it's not worth it. Anyway, so yeah, that was neat to watch that. And like I said, I wish I could have understood what they said, but I couldn't find. You notice the first part of my reaction had English subtitles. So the video I found with English subtitles stopped right after she stopped singing. So I couldn't find one that had the full version with what the judges said that had the English subtitles. So, and if one of you sent that to me, and I tried to pour through all of your comments, I need to figure out some kind of way to copy all the comments somewhere where I can go through and do a global search through all my comments to find the links to the different videos and things like that. What I'm trying to do now is as I'm going through the comments, if I see where you guys have said, hey, watch this, here's a link, I actually copy it at that time now, and then I put it, and I have a repository for it now. But I didn't do that from the beginning. So I'm trying to kind of go back and pull those out. Anyway, thanks for the suggestion. It was good to kind of see the precursor and where she came from before, leading up to that first, the super experience that she had. And so I'll have to kind of pick up where I left off there. I think it's a man's world, I think, is one that many of you have suggested. And I'll move on from there to some of the others. I think Wicked Game. No. Yeah. Anyway, I'll look back through my notes. But if you have suggestions for that competition, I want to kind of do some from that competition and then go to the one that was the following year. Before I do that, I want to cover the ones that are when she was 14. Anyway, thank you very much. And for your patience. And I know a lot of you are anxious for me to do more Deanna reactions, but I'm trying to kind of balance it out. I've got a lot of different requests and a limited amount of time. If I was doing this full time, then yeah, I mean, I could do several videos a day. But as it is, I end up having to do it at night, and like right now, it's 1:30 in the morning my time. So, but fortunately, I'm a nocturnal person, so it works for me. But anyway, so thank you again for your patience. If you haven't already, if you could please subscribe and support the channel, I'd appreciate it. Thank you again and take care.